Good Thursday afternoon, everybody. Live and direct from the house Onek backyard. I'm meteorologist Austen Onek with the latest update of News Channel 3's exclusive online video weather blog, Weather Overtime, for Thursday evening and following. Coming to you from the backyard because with weather like this, who wouldn't want to be outside on a day like this? Looking absolutely gorgeous into the rest of the day today where temperatures are concerned, but we've got bigger changes heading our direction as we get into later on tonight as a new cold front approaches the area, plus a lot of stuff going on into the Mid-South and just north of the Mid-South, I should say, with a new cold front approaching the Mid-South. That is where we may see some big problems where it comes to some winter storm possibilities, but so far, nothing for the Mid-South area. If you'd like to contact me and ask questions about the web blog that we have here or other stuff that we'll be doing, please contact me. I would put it in the lower third version down here, but unfortunately, it looks like Google Plus has stopped doing that. So just imagine where it says austin.onek@WREG.com, and you can get a hold of me there. Here's what it looks like across the country. We've got a lot of clouds, but we do have, again, some areas of sunshine trying to break on through, at least by just a little bit anyway, so not doing too bad across the Mid-South where it comes to anything involving huge amounts of overcast skies, but we do have the possibility of seeing maybe some more scattered showers in the Mid-South and the possibility of getting into maybe some areas of light amounts of rainfall coming up into the course of the next several days. And we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. But as of right now, probably not that great for anything involving stargazing tonight. A little bit of moisture out there and more to come throughout the rest of the evening from the PSU E-wall system. Again, showing some of that moisture lingering across parts of the Mid-South and starting to increase by just a little bit. And looking again at better chances of showers north of us. Now, all that stuff just north of us, that's rain forming along that cold front that we're talking about, and that is going to be a big problem for areas around northern Arkansas, southern Missouri, southern Illinois as we get more moisture up that direction. Nothing going on for the Mid-South at this time. As you can see, nothing showing up in the way of showers or major amounts of wind or any severe weather or anything like that. But going back to the north of us, excuse me just one second here, still getting used to this system. Back to the north of us, this is where we see a lot of problems going on. Back into around St. Louis, Springfield, Jeff City, Columbia, Kansas City, Boonville, around Whiteman Air Force Base, Sedalia, into around southern parts of the area of Missouri, down from Joplin to Springfield up to around Rolla and close to Cape Girardeau. North of that area, an ice storm warning has been posted, and we are looking at a lot of different containers of warnings out that direction, which again are giving us the potential of some problems out there from areas around the rest of the Midwest. Let me zoom out a little farther so you can see the extent of this at this time, and that is a lot of activity happening from North Texas all the way over to Kentucky, Indiana, and Illinois. Back into Kansas, almost to Colorado. Winter storm watch is in effect for a good portion of the upper Midwest as this first round of stuff comes on through. But notice there's nothing going on in the Memphis metro area, so good news on that, or for the rest of the Mid-South, so things are decently quiet at this time. And hopefully will be remaining that way. But if you're heading anywhere, say north of I-40, up around Oklahoma City, Dodge City, Kansas, Topeka, Lawrence, Kansas City, Jeff City, St. Louis, Rolla, into around the area of just north of Tulsa and Springfield, Joplin, Missouri. That is where we could see some significant amounts of icing taking place. Freezing rain from just east of Lubbock back to the area into and around portions of southern Missouri and back to around areas of southeast Missouri, southern Illinois, and all the way over to around Kentucky and parts of the area in and around Ohio almost into around portions of southern areas of Indiana. So that's where we're going to be looking again at the major problems out there. Nothing going on for the Mid-South at this time. The freezing rain advisory comes down to around the area by Poplar Bluff, all the way back over to around just north of Harrison, Arkansas. But once again, we have little, if anything, really taking place where we are. The dividing line between the colder temperatures, it's freezing up around St. Louis, Jeff City, into around areas of I-70. That colder air spilling into northwestern parts of Arkansas. But for here in the Mid-South, things are very decently balmy out there. We're seeing not any problems at all with the temperatures, but that will be changing into later on tonight. as this cool air begins to spill its way a little farther southward. It's just north of the Mid-South right now. Dyersburg, you're going to be feeling a little cooler if you're not already, and that could be, again, a bit of a problem into around tonight, so take that jacket with you out there. This cold front remains in effect, remains in and around the area, bringing us showers and quite possibly some rumbles of thunder. It's the possibility of this moisture overspilling that cold air and setting up, again, icy conditions into areas north and west of us through tomorrow morning into tomorrow afternoon as that warm air tries to push over the top of that cold air, and that is, again, where the major problems are going to be, and that expands even more by Saturday morning. We could be seeing by 6 o'clock Saturday morning from the Colorado, Texas, Oklahoma panhandles area all the way to Pennsylvania, the Great Lakes, and even the East Coast states could be looking at some snow, freezing rain, and sleet potential out there. We are going to stay way too warm for anything but rainfall across the Mid-South as that warm air continues to hold sway. It will be a little cooler north of this front as the front tries to make its way southward, but high pressure back to the east of us is going to bounce that backwards. So it's doubtful we're going to be seeing anything in the way of very warm conditions or anything in the way of typical January type conditions. It'd be nice, but it's just not going to be happening anytime soon. So very mild conditions out there. For tonight, showers developing through about this afternoon and into this evening, and we'll continue to see rain overspreading the Mid-South through about early tomorrow. Temperatures will be much colder north of I-40 than south of I-40. Matter of fact, almost 20-degree temperature difference as we go into very early Friday morning. 40s in the metro, 30s north of I-40, 50s back, and even 60s down toward Tupelo and Oxford into tomorrow. Now, getting into tomorrow's afternoon highs, again, that cold front lingering in the area, so winds will be out of the north on one side of things and remain decently breezy, 10 to 15 miles an hour, and maybe a few higher wind gusts at times. Matter of fact, back down to the south, it's going to be almost decently balmy. High temperatures tomorrow early during the morning and into the afternoon, upper 60s. Tupelo, Oxford, Batesville, south of Clarksdale, all the way down to Cleveland, Mississippi. That could be a bit of a problem. And outdoor activities, expecting the possibility of scattered showers remaining throughout the area tomorrow. Temperatures will start off, again, decently cool, back in the upper 40s, heading for the lower 50s by around the time the kids get out of school. And then by tomorrow evening, temperatures again remain a little bit on the cooler side, close to our normal high temperatures, but at least they're not in the 70s from what we've seen over the last few couple of days at least, and precipitation chances will linger and stick around into the weekend. Also seeing, again, the possibility of some showers into the Mid-South by Sunday, and unfortunately for the holiday coming up on Monday, an increase in showers, possibly a few thunderstorms out there, and what could be a fairly breezy day coming up for the day of service. Volunteering for outdoor activities could be some problems out there, so something to think about for maybe indoor volunteer service, if at all possible, just to avoid anything in the way of danger from lightning. We'll keep an eye on that and keep you updated throughout the rest of the next few days, so stay tuned for my forecast bright and early with Todd Demers tomorrow morning, or in place of Todd Demers, I should say. He's taking a day off, and then into around the area of the weekend. I'll keep you updated there. Also on Facebook at facebook.com/Austen Onek, WREG, and also don't forget to check out my Twitter account at twitter.com/Aonek_WREG3, and we'll keep you up to date on what's going on there. Again, nice out here for right now, but it's going to be getting a little cooler, so keep the jackets and, again, the umbrella handy. Be prepared to hang on to them as much as possible, because we'll be looking at some very breezy conditions across much of the Mid-South into the course of the next couple of days. So very much on the cooler side out there, but nothing like January should be. That's for certain. It's feeling what it's like out here for right now across the Mid-South, and a little bit cooler, but nothing in the way of winter weather affecting us either. None of those winter weather advisories which we showed you was for any part of the News Channel 3 viewing area. So that's really good news for us. But if you are traveling anywhere between, say, Oklahoma City and St. Louis, call ahead, check your destination, look at what's going on, pay attention, be prepared to postpone travel. This is not a weather situation that you want to go barreling on through and say, well, I'll deal with it when I get there. You could get there and find yourself in a 100-car traffic jam, people sliding off the roadways, and you could be one of them. So again, it might be best just to postpone your travel if you can. If you can't and you absolutely must travel, take it as easy as possible. Slow it down. If you skid off the roadway, you could be stuck there for hours, not to mention insurance and waiting for the wreckers and all kinds of other stuff like that. So something to keep in mind. if you are going to be traveling. Again, I'll have your forecast coming up bright and early tomorrow morning for News Channel 3's Todd DeBurs, and I'll have a complete, excuse me, update throughout the rest of the weekend, so stay tuned for more with News Channel 3. Live and direct from House Onek in the backyard on a very mild Thursday in January, I'm meteorologist Austen Onek. Stay tuned for more coming up on News Channel 3 with Jim and Tim on First at 4 throughout the rest of the evening. And, of course, I'll be with you bright and early tomorrow morning. And stay tuned for more at WREG.com/weather.